All the information that we have about the external world is conveyed to us by our five senses. The world we know of consists of what our eyes see, our ears hear, our noses smell, our tongues taste, and our hands feel. These physical facts make us come to an indisputable conclusion. Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain.
To me, there's a big difference between the mind and the brain. The brain is the physical substance inside the skull. Nerve cells, matter, sloppy mess. The mind is totally different. The mind is a subjective experience. The mind is what we know. The mind is my thoughts, my feelings, my perception of you at that moment. One is physical matter, the other is inner subjective experience. Totally different. And yet they're clearly related. What happens in the brain affects my mind.
For example, a person deeply asleep in his bed may see himself in an entirely different world in his dream. He may dream that he is a pilot and command a giant airplane, and even spend a great effort to command the plane. In fact, this person has not taken even one step away from his bed. In his dreams, he may visit different settings and meet with friends, have a chat with them, eat and drink together. It is only when the person awakes from his dream that he realizes all were only perceptions. If we are able to live easily in an unreal world during our dreams, the same thing can equally be true for the world we live in. When we wake up from a dream, there is no logical reason for not thinking that we have entered a longer dream that we call real life.
Aldous Huxley. Although nearly blind, Huxley compensates for this handicap with his extraordinary intelligence. Huxley is fascinated with the possibility of expanding his consciousness through the use of drugs such as mescaline. By using mescaline as a spiritual seeker, not a scientist, Huxley enters the surreal world of spiritual imagery.
Information that the brain is processing every single second tells us that there's more to the world than we're perceiving. However, every single time we're immersed in an experience with our senses, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, as we're immersed centrally in our reality.
really don't begin to open until the patient is completely asleep, so that you maintain a sterile environment.
She also heard a conversation during the operation between Dr. Spetzler and the cardiovascular surgeons who were cutting into her legs to hook her up to the heart-lung machine. When the cardiac surgeon incised her right groin, she found that her veins and arteries were too small, and she had to go over to the left side, and there was some conversation at the time between the doctors. Pam accurately recalled hearing that conversation.
At that stage in the operation, nobody can observe, hear in that state. And I find it inconceivable that your normal senses, such as hearing, let alone the fact that she had clicking modules in each ear, that there was any way for her to hear those through normal auditory pathways.
Classical consciousness, your consciousness is, if you would ask people what happens, how is it produced, it's produced by the brain. It's something that is created. And now we have all the evidence that it's not limited to the brain, and it's probably not even produced by the brain.
Our enhanced consciousness resides not in our brain and is not limited to our brain, because our consciousness is non-local. Without the body, we still can have conscious experiences.
It's as if the ego calculus separates the thinker from the object, and this line of separation is important because it cuts us off from unity. And if we're cut off from the integral space, we're finished.
Progress in our understanding of the universe through physics over the past quarter century has been exploring deeper levels of natural law, from the macroscopic to the microscopic, from the molecular to the atomic to the nuclear to subnuclear levels of nature's functioning, so-called electroweak unified scale, grand unified scale, super unified scale. And what we've discovered at the core basis of the universe, the foundation of the universe, is a single universal field of intelligence.
Pure abstract potential, pure abstract being, pure abstract self-aware consciousness, which rises in waves of vibration to give rise to the particles, the people, everything we see in the vast universe.
The experience of pure consciousness really transcends any one religion or any one philosophy. It's as scientific as it is religious. It is, after all, a state of functioning of the brain, maximally expanded comprehension. It's the direct subjective experience of the scientifically discovered unified field of all the laws of nature. Is that religious? Perhaps, but it's scientific too.